Okay, so I want to start off and ask y'all what questions you have regarding the Google training that y'all have now completed, um, any of the assignments, anything like that. So what questions do y'all have? Okay, well, I want to start off about my remind message this morning. I had a student send me a message that said that they had signed up for the exam last Thursday and they didn't know if they would be prepared to take it. And I went back and reminded and saw that the remind message I had meant to schedule to go out today, that matches the calendar saying that I highly suggest you register for by this date. I accidentally sent it a week early. So I have several students who have signed up for the exam. I need to know if you signed up for the exam Thursday, Friday, Saturday, either of these 3 days, because I do not want to penalize students who listen to my advice that I accidentally sent out a week early. So anybody in here sign up for the exam Thursday, Friday, or Saturday of last week? What about Sunday of this week? Okay. So yes, there's one person and I have already had a discussion with them about it. Anybody else? So again, I do not want to penalize y'all because I accidentally hit send instead of schedule on that message. So I want to make sure that any students who are impacted by me sending that message early, I have a chance to talk to and come up with a plan. Okay. So on the next note, if you have not signed up for the exam, I highly recommend you sign up by today. You have 7 days to take the exam after you receive your login credentials. And remember, it can take up to 48 hours. You should plan on it taking 48 hours to get your exam results. Sometimes it's taking longer. So I highly suggest you go ahead and sign up for the exam and take it over the weekend so that you have plenty of time to get your results. You must, by the due date, which is next Thursday, I believe that is the 1st. Yes, ma'ams and sirs. By the 1st, you must turn in one of the 3, okay? Either your digital certificate link on Moodle, a screenshot of your exam results email that says you failed, or a screenshot of you working with Moodle, completing, filling out that support form because Google has made a mistake on your exam and you weren't able to complete it. So one of those 3, either your certificate results, your email, screenshot of your email that says you failed, or a screenshot of the support form where I know you're working with Google to fix any testing issues. If you do not turn that in by next Friday at 11:59, it is considered late. If you don't turn in proof of your first exam within 5 days, because remember, you lose a letter grade each day it's late. If you don't turn in any proof within 5 days of the due date, you don't get a second attempt. You only get a second attempt if you have your first attempt on time. I want to make sure y'all understand that, because invariably I will have a student in a month who takes the exam and goes, hey, I passed it. I want my points. And this quarter, I'm sticking with my late policy. Every day you're late is a letter grade. After 5 days, I don't accept it. So if you have issues with the exam, please let me know. Many of those issues you'll have to work out directly with Google, but I'm happy to help in any way I can. So make sure you contact me. When you look at grading for the exam, you'll see in there that you get 45 points for passing it and 5 additional points for posting it to your portfolio. We haven't gotten to the part of the class, we're actually starting that today, where you've created your portfolio. So when you pass the exam and you get your certificate, you'll need to go and add that to your portfolio when you get your results. So on this initial round of grading, I'm just grading to see that you have the certificate. but within like a week of you getting your certificate, you need to make sure you post it to your portfolio, because I will circle back around in a few weeks and grade the portfolio part of that. And I will send out a message on time, not early, letting y'all know when I'm going to go back and grade the portfolio so that you make sure and have it in there. Questions before I introduce anything new? What questions do you have? Nary a question? Okay, so if you look in Moodle, you will see that I have opened up a new unit called Course Portfolio. So what we are going to do, I'm going to share my screen and we're going to look at this course portfolio, and then I'm going to give you time to create your homepage for your portfolio and submit it, which is one of your assignments that's due next week. At any time, y'all interrupt me, let me know you have a question, and I will slow down and address it. So in Moodle right here under Course Portfolio, this unit is now open to y'all. You'll see that in this unit, you will create a course portfolio using Google Sites. So you will gain a deeper understanding of how to use Google Sites, and you'll also create a portfolio to showcase all your work in this course. There are 2 assessments in here. There is your course portfolio web address submission. That's what we're going to do today, where you just make your home page of your portfolio and submit that address to me so I can check it throughout the quarter. And then your course portfolio submission, I want to let y'all know that the portfolio is what we kind of consider our final in this class, and you're going to work on it all throughout the quarter. So when you get into creating what you'll turn in for your final, it should literally take you less than 30 minutes. And don't forget that we get out a week early before your other classes, so you have time to concentrate on that. So under course portfolio, content resources and videos, click on here and you will see I have the course portfolio scoring checklist, and I also have an example. I want to reiterate, for every single assignment I have in this class, I'm going to have at least one example that I made. And for some of these assignments, I'll have multiple examples, because I also have some really great work that some past students have made and given me permission to post as examples. So, excuse me. First thing we're going to do is click on this course portfolio scoring checklist and check that out. Now, today, all we're doing is creating page 1, your home page. We're not doing anything that's listed today. It is all turned in for your final. Anything listed on pages 1 through 5. Those are all final components. I'm going to read through them. I'm going to show you where it is in the example, but just keep in mind, all we're doing today is creating the home page of your portfolio. You don't even have to work on it besides that right now, and turning that in. And then pages 6 and 7 are actually associated with different assignments. So 6 and 7 are what you're going to work on throughout the quarter. And then pages 1 through 5 are what you're going to flush out before you submit your final portfolio to me. Questions before I jump into them? Okay. So your page 1 is your home page. This is the page that everybody comes to first. So on that page, you will include a title and some sort of explanation of why you've created this collection of web pages. If you look at my example on my home page, I created this portfolio as an example for my students. It is an example of a teacher education portfolio that showcases the artifacts created throughout the teacher education program at Louisiana Tech. For the purposes of my class, this is a portfolio just for the technology class. My hope is that you create this portfolio in my class, but you continue to add throughout your teacher education program. When you graduate, you can add this website to your applications and to your resume, and it will allow teaching administrators, principals, things like that, HR, to go to your website to learn about you, and also possibly they'll see all your stuff from 210 but also you can add videos of you teaching during your residency, some of your lesson plans that you taught from. So you can really use this portfolio as a way to sell yourself as a professional when you're looking for a job. In this class, we're going to start it. Obviously, I won't see it again after this if you're continuing to use it, but I do highly encourage it. For the purposes of this class, this is a portfolio created to showcase your artifacts in 210, but feel free to write whatever your statement is, why you have this collection of pages as you see fit. You can also borrow some of this verbiage from me, that it is a portfolio that showcases artifacts that you create during your teacher education program at Louisiana Tech. For the assignment today, all we are doing is literally making the homepage. You do not have to include this reason yet. That is something that I will grade for when I come back at the final portfolio submission. And again, pages 2 through 5, you don't have to do a single thing on right now, but I just want to show them to you in case you want to work ahead. Page 2 is an intro. You're going to give 3 pictures of yourself and include a brief overview of yourself. This can be any information that you think is important, okay? Y'all can all see my portfolio checklist, right? Just want to make sure it's on the right page. Let me know if not. So my intro page, if I flip to my example, here's a brief overview of myself. My name is Whitney. I'm an instructor at Tech. I'm passionate about education and technology specifically. Here's some people I love. I was born on Barksdale and Bossier. I grew up on Elmendorf. I graduated from Ruston High School in Ruston. That's all the information I chose to include. You can include whatever you'd like. Page 3 is your professional information. So you'll give us, for me, 4 to 5 sentences about yourself that shows your preparation thus far. If you were in the high school STAR program, for people who are interested in becoming teachers, you can include that because that's professional preparation. If you've done CPR because you are a babysitter, you can include your CPR certification and your babysitting experience, because those are all things that help prepare you to interact with children and to be effective with children. So you can include anything you want that you think is relevant. You can include certificates you earned throughout this class. That's great. But I know that it used to be, at least in Intro to Education, they had to create a resume. If that's still the case, you are more than welcome to embed your resume in your Google site. That counts. That would take the place of these 4 to 5 sentences. And just make sure that I can see the whole thing and that it's easy to read. It's not blurry. So if you flip to my professional information page in my example, you'll see I spent my first year of undergrad at LSUS and then went to ULM. I finished a BA at ULM, MED at ULM. I've done a whole lot of PD. Those are 4 to 5 sentences about my preparation as a professional. Career goals. You need to include a paragraph that shows where you want to go and what you want to do when you graduate. And you'll tell me at least 3 actual goals. So this could pertain to job aspirations, graduate work, etc. I had a student who, I've had several, but one last quarter specifically, who wanted to teach overseas. That is a career goal. If you want to go on and get your master's in reading, that's a career goal. If you want to go teach for 3 years and then come back and get your master's in educational leadership, also a career goal. If you want to go home to Winfield, Louisiana, and teach at your elementary school, also a career goal. Anything you can tell us, the readers, about where you see yourself as a professional in your career down the road. So I gave a little blurb here. I'm a lifelong student, and so more education's in my future. I'm in the EDD. My personal career goal, and this is true, is to empower my students to seek out technology for themselves once they finish their own educational programs. I want to give you all that basic skill set and teach you how to research so you can find tools that meet your needs. Here are my specific career goals: complete the EDD program, Lord willing, and the levy hold. Continue to advance in the field of higher ed accreditation and data collection. I'm actually doing that in conjunction with my first career goal because my dissertation is on research and accreditation and assessment. And 3, develop up-to-date courses that offer delivery both online and face-to-face, which I have actually done in the last year. So there are 3 career goals. Page 5 is your contact information. You do not have to include your cell phone if you don't want to. This would just be, say you're using this as a tool when you're trying to look for a job. This would be an easy way for the administrators to see exactly how to contact you. So that everything we just went over, pages 1 through 5, is literally your final for this course. Congratulations, you got an early study guide and you can do it whenever you see fit. But what we are about to do is go in here and create your homepage of your portfolio so you can submit that to me. You will be adding artifacts, things you create, and things such as that to your portfolio throughout the quarter. So I need your homepage address so that I can get to your portfolio at any time. So if we back out of here and go back to the course portfolio unit page, you'll see initial course portfolio web address submission. So here's your rationale. You're going to create this course portfolio and you're going to work on it throughout the quarter. It's my hope that you continue to use this portfolio after you graduate. I think it'd be incredibly useful for you, but it's also an incredibly useful reflective tool. You can look and see how much you have grown in the course of this quarter alone, or if you continue it for your whole program over the course of your teacher ed program. And I will say, as somebody who's gone back and looked at my writing when I started the doctoral program and my writing now, it's really neat to see how we as students learn and progress, and a lot of times don't even realize it. So here's your assignment resources, your portfolio scoring checklist. That's what we just looked at, and the example. So you will add required artifacts to your portfolio as you complete assignments. The scoring checklist outlines every single thing that should be in your portfolio, from those 5 pages we just looked at to different artifacts or things you create or certificates you get that you'll add throughout the quarter. Every single assignment that requires something to be added to the portfolio, you will see it at the bottom of the scoring checklist, and it will say portfolio component. Not only will it be right there, it will also be in your course portfolio checklist right here in red. These are parts of all your assignments you create that you will be adding to your portfolio, and then one of your assignments will be created directly inside the portfolio. We will work on the PLN in just a minute. We're going to get a start on that too. But first, we are going to do right now your portfolio, your initial course portfolio submission. So the first thing you're going to do is create a Google Sites portfolio website inside your professional Gmail. I'm going to walk you through it real quick. Go to sites.google.com. I'm also going to put the direct site address in the chat for everyone. Top left, you got your big old plus button. Mash that. And you will create a blank site. You're welcome to use a template if you like. I suggest going off a blank site and making it what you want, but your sky's the limit, y'all. So I highly suggest you title the site after yourself so that it makes it easy for me to find, but whatever you so desire. Sutherland Fake Portfolio Sites. So that is the title of my website. You can actually name your homepage anything you want. You can name it homepage. You can put all about me or all my awesome work. Anything you want. Y'all have already completed the training for Google Sites. So I'm not going to go in so much on customizing right now. When we go to actually turn in the final one, we'll talk about that a little more. But for now, this is where we're going to go with this. So this is literally my home page. You will see right here, it says all changes saved in Drive. That's normal. Just like all the other Google apps, it goes ahead and saves changes for you. But what it does not do is publish those changes. So they're all saved in basically a temporary website, but until you hit the publish button, nobody can actually see this. So remember that when you're adding stuff throughout the quarter, every time you add something, you need to hit publish so that it is viewable to the reader. So I've created my home page. It's called Sutherland Fake Portfolio Site. That's my collection of pages. This specific page is all my awesome work. I hit the publish button and it's going to say, what do you want the website address to be? Because Google is hosting this for free, this is going to be at the front of every single one of y'all's website addresses. sites.google.com/view/. What comes after that last slash is up to you. So right here, you see it's copying this right down here. Sutherland Fake Portfolio Site sounds good. I highly suggest you also click down here and request public search engines don't display your site so that if somebody Googles it, it doesn't automatically come up. Hit publish and it will tell you publishing. Your site's been published successfully, view. I can look at it right here. And once I've viewed it, this is the web address I will turn in. So once you have your web address, just like I have right here, or if I want, I can also go inside the site. Instead of looking at the preview, I can go right here inside where I was creating it, copy published site link. So we did number one, we created it. We made sure we published it. We go to the Google form, give me your name, type in your website and submit. Once you have done that, come into come into Moodle, type in the word complete and submit it here. I have been really lenient for people as we've started the quarter. If they haven't quite followed the directions, I'm usually going ahead and giving them points, but I will be sticking explicitly to the directions. So if you do not follow them, you will eventually get points taken off. If you go in here and complete the Google form, but you don't complete the part in Moodle and I have to track it down, you will have a point deduction. I'm not going to give, I give leeway at the beginning while we're all getting used to it. You're always welcome to turn in stuff 48 hours before it's due and have me check it. I'm happy to do that. Make sure you fill out the Google form if you decide to request feedback from me. But make sure you follow the directions that are outlined in the assignment. I do want a little aside here because I should have brought this up before. If you have turned in your G Suite practice assignment and I haven't graded it yet, go look at the comments. I graded them all up until last night. If there's a problem where you didn't follow one of the directions, like adding my specific email address and sharing that with me specifically through the email, I let you know in the comments in Moodle so you have a chance to correct it. Once I go in and start grading after it's actually due, I'll tell you where you made a mistake and why you might not have gotten full credit, but I'm not going to give y'all a chance to go back and correct little mistakes like that. So make sure you read through the directions and you follow every single step. Okay. What I am going to do now, it is 12:27. I am going to give y'all 10 minutes. Well, 12:27 on mine. 13 minutes, create your home page. And remember, you don't have to add anything else to it right now. Just create your home page for your portfolio. Make sure you hit the publish button. Copy that published website link into the Google form and submit the form to me. And then turn in on Moodle that you have completed the assignment. This way I can make sure everybody's homepage I'm able to view already. So take your time and do that. And I'm going to sit right here and let me know if you have questions. Okay, we are going to go ahead and move on. I think pretty much everybody got it turned in. If there was an issue, I have sent you a message on Zoom right now, but I've also put them into Moodle. Again, always check your Moodle comments. If you turned in an assignment, make sure and check your comments to see if I'm having an issue with your submission. Any questions about the idea behind the portfolio? What is due for the initial portfolio assignment that most of y'all just turned in and I've already graded? Anything like that before I move into the professional learning network? Okay. So we are going to move on to your professional development unit. I'm going to share my screen real quick. I want to walk you through some important stuff. Okay. So I opened up this tab yesterday. I think it was yesterday. It might have been the day before. But professional development unit. In this unit, you will learn the importance of a professional learning network and how you can cultivate one. You'll learn methods to protect your students while they are online. You'll learn how to act ethically as an educator and the impact of copyright laws on educational uses of media. Today, all we're tackling is the importance of the PLN and how to cultivate it. These we will work on next week. So this is a 2-week unit, like most of our units in this class. Now we are moving into the actual real content of the course. We finished the basics, which is just basic technology use. Y'all have been prepared through Google for a lot of that. Now we're going to actually have fun. This is what I consider the fun parts. Woo-hoo. So your checklist of assessments and assignments in this unit, the PLN exploration assignment, which is what we'll discuss today, digital citizenship training, which is offered by Google, ethics training, which is offered by the state of Louisiana, and a copyright quiz that I made in Moodle offer based on some resources that I've given you. And of course, don't forget about Twitter. You are required to tweet 10 times for the course, but anything over 10 and up to 20 is straight bonus points. I highly encourage you to engage with us on Twitter. And today we're going to learn about why it is important. Yay. So under your PLN content, resources, and videos, you click that little baby open, and you have 3 different links in here. I need you to review these links to develop an understanding of why we are now using social media in education. Social media has been around for a long time, but now we have figured out much more targeted ways we can use social media to increase our learning as educators and increase our students' learning outcomes. So remember, I don't have a book in this class. Instead, you have to read through the content resources. So consider this like your book reading. So you'll read about using Twitter to build your professional learning network. You'll read about using social media in general to build your professional learning network and what social media in education really looks like. So those are your resources you need to go over ASAP so that you'll be prepared to work on the PLN exploration assignment. So let's pop that open. So of course, your rationale. As an educator, you've committed to always learning and growing in your practice. Remember, lifelong learner, woohoo. It's important that you create a network of like-minded educators who can give you advice and support you while introducing you to new things that are going on in the field. We no longer operate in silos of professional learning where we only learn from the other educators who are in our schools during those formal professional learning days that our schools always give us opportunities to do. We, with technology, connect with people all over the world who are doing the exact same things we are, and sometimes just incredibly transformational things in education. There is no reason for you to feel like you're alone and that you can't learn from other people's experiences, and also to create a real support network. Education as a profession is not easy, but it is incredibly worth it. Like the personal payoff is extremely high. It is important to avoid burnout and things like that. And having a group of educators who can support you and at your low times, make you remember why you love this job so much. It can really mean the difference between you staying in the field and leaving early. So in this assignment, you're going to learn how to create a professional learning network using social media, but you're also going to engage in some professional learning activities that you're then going to share on Twitter with your professional learning network to help them learn more. So this is kind of a two-part assignment where you're connecting with other professionals, but you're also reviewing content and putting it out there in small reviews so that other professionals can read what you've already learned about and decide if they'd like to learn more. You're shortening the process for them and learning new things. So the PLN scoring checklist has all of the links we need on it, and there is an example. It's linked right here. It's also linked in those resources. Remember, both of these things were in the other resources. But these PLN webpage resources down here are all linked within the checklist, okay? So if you follow along with this checklist, you'll have all the resources that are down here too. The example for this assignment is found in my portfolio example. One student asked this last class, and it was a wonderful question, so I want to reiterate this. You will be creating your professional learning network page inside of your portfolio you just created. So you just made your home page. You'll make a separate page for your PLN. And that's where you're going to house all this information about what you learned while you're engaging in these activities. So let's take a look at the activities. If you pop open your scoring checklist right here, you will see the top part is your learning activities right here. And then I told you, here's your collaborative activities. So this is where you're actually engaging with social media with other people. But I told y'all that if something is required to be in your portfolio, at the bottom of that assignment scoring checklist or rubric, you will see exactly this: portfolio component, requirement, and possible points. If you do not see this at the bottom of a scoring checklist or rubric, that means it doesn't go in the portfolio. We have a portfolio score checklist, and inside there it names every single thing that goes in. So there should be no confusion. It's listed on the rubric or the scoring checklist. It's also listed in the portfolio scoring checklist, and you'll see it's built in as part of your grade. So let us start at the top and work our way down. But does anybody have any questions before I start doing that? There's only 5 of y'all in here, so speak up. Okay. Feel free to stop me at any time, y'all. The first thing is EdWeb. EdWeb is a website that is its own social media network for educators. You can do a lot of stuff on there, but I really like Twitter and other options. So I'm not requiring y'all to really engage in the social media side of EdWeb. But if you click on that link and open it, you will create an account in here. Let me log out real quick. Join EdWeb and use your professional Gmail address. So fill out all this information. It makes you claim an institution. Use Louisiana Tech there. And what we're going to do is webinars through EdWeb. So I'm going to quit sharing my screen for a few minutes. Go to EdWeb, use that link inside of the PLN scoring checklist or under the assignment resources inside the assignment. And go to EdWeb, use your professional Gmail address, claim your institution as Louisiana Tech, and join the site. I'll give you all about 5 minutes. I'm going to stay right here if y'all need me.